Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So today we're gonna make some paper. I'm gonna put this on my video, this video on my YouTube channel, and I am also, why I'm making this is for the group I'm in, A Little Goddess and All. And it's run by Carol and Jean, and I wanted to give some inspiration this month. So this is gonna be for this week, and who knows what I'll come up with next week. Now this will be in like a few different ideas and phases, I guess. We'll see how it goes, but let's get to getting in the beginning. Okay, so with the pandemic, we all went, most of us probably went, and got tons of toilet paper. I have more toilet paper than I know what to do with. Now, is that a bad thing? No. You know, it's not going to go waste, but I did have to buy some cheaper ones because when the good stuff was sold out, you know, you got to get something. If you don't have extra toilet paper, you can run to your dollar store. You can get a 4-pack of 1-ply. That's all you need is 1-ply, you know, for $1. So you can't go wrong. But if you have 2-ply, if you got the good stuff, just rip the plies apart. I have warm water, hot water that I put into this bowl, and I ripped it up, right? And you can see it's like gone back to its regular form. So all you do is take your toilet paper. Now you can use a paper towel or whatever, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. And you rip her up. Hello, goodbye. And you stick it in the water. I was going to say you stick it in. That's what she said. But I don't know if Carol appreciates that kind of humor. So, okay, so this is basic. This is the basic. Now what you do is you add your Mod Podge. I love Mod Podge. This has seen way better days. I just keep refilling it. But what this does, do you have to do this? No, but I suggest you do. And if you don't have Mod Podge, use your glue all, you know, your white school glue, PVA glue. Maybe you have decoupage. Maybe you have, I don't know, something. Sure, there's a million different things out there. And then I just take, you can use your hand. She said, I got the jokes today. Okay. And this is just going to help it adhere a bit, right? It's not, you know, that's why you can see, as long as your glue dries clear, and if it doesn't, it just gives more texture. So you see how I'm doing? Look at me go. And you can see that it definitely, I gotta wipe that off because I'll go grab it and it'll be full of glue. You can see how it like breaks down. Okay, now I have paper towels here. I love to paint. I got some paper towels. You don't have to let this go to waste. What I usually do is just let these dry and reuse them. You're gonna hear my dog cry and I'm so sorry. He's like, you're not paying attention to me. What am I gonna do today? You know what I mean? And I'll probably have to pause it a million times, but anyway, so here we're going to add a little bit of texture. This is just paper towel. I'm going to do the same thing. Mush it around. I'm obviously putting my hands in it because I think art for me is, I like the tactileness of it, you know. Look at me go. I can put more. I'm not, because I like that little surprise. You have dried flowers, throw them bad boys in. Okay. You have lint from your dryer. Oh, do I have lint? That's all I do is laundry. I got 2 different colors. I don't know why, but you could be fancy and maybe you have, you know, you put all your darks in and you have dark and you have your light. But look, we're just going to like put it around. I like to set it in different areas. See how it's like cotton candy almost. Do not eat it. Okay. And I'm just setting it around just so it's in different areas, because it'll get wet and it'll be a little bit harder to move. Okay, and then we got our purple. Okay. Oh, my dog today. I'm so sorry. Okay. All right, so now just go in, rub it around. You don't have to do this, right? People might not want to do that. Maybe you're like, gross. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about lint, but that's that. Now I will be back in a second. Okay, so we have this. You can see it's a nice milky consistency. Now, what else can you put in? Well, it's endless. You can put in glitter paint, which I'm going to put in some green. This is glitterific, just because it's going to give a little sparkle. Now, you know, sometimes I put things into my papers and it doesn't come out how I want it. I'm like, where's the green glitter? So we'll see where this goes. These are real big chunks, so it's going to be, you know, better, right? I have the worst time opening stuff. Come on there, boy. It's always a boy when it doesn't listen to me. I just feel that's, you know. And I'm just going to squeeze a little bit. Come on. So we've used Mod Podge. This has a little, you know, glue in it. Look at that, how pretty. Now you can wait and, you know, put this on at the end. I'm going to have to use my hands to get all that through. And then maybe you don't want to leave it white. Maybe, you know, you want it a bit rose colored or whatever. Add your paint. Add your, I suggest acrylic paint. However, if you have watercolor, do you, boo? You know what I'm saying? If you have paint or something that you don't use a lot and you don't want it to go to waste, use it in here. So I'm going to go in and I'm squishing it like I'm making the meatballs, right? The meatballs, the meatballs, the meatballs. And just getting it around. Everybody loves the balls. Maybe you want more glitter. Maybe you want some string, which I can't find my string. And I have the string. I have string everywhere, but I can't find it. I don't know. Like I said, I'm moving downstairs and I got 80% of it down here. Is it organized? No, not really, but it's all right. I can still do what I got to do. And if you think it needs more glitter, you can use loose glitter because remember, you got glue in here, right? Okay, so you can see. Dried flower. Oh, the fun. Okay, so this is where we're at. I'm going to put these over here. And you can make as much or as little as you want. I shall return. Okay. I'm going to put in some, this is just paint. This is Ceram Coat, which I love. It's called Shocking Pink. Now, obviously, you know, it's not going to go as shocking. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Let's do this. I'm going to take half of this out, just a little bit of this out, so we can see what it looks like when it's, you know, dry without anything. So we're going to lay her there. Then, what can I do? Because I don't want to, yeah, we'll do like that. And then we'll leave this in, and now we'll add the Shocking Pink. And you can see, you're not going to need that much. This is a permanent, but, you know, like I said, if all you have is watercolor, do you? Do you? Now, I'm going to make this not necessarily opaque, but I'm going to mix it through, and you'll see. Yeah. I mean, look at that, how pretty. Can you imagine putting some dried flowers in here? Oh, I will, but I don't have them today. So I'm going to set this aside for a second. Okay. And then what we're going to do is let's work on this first. I just have a microfiber cloth. I get these at the dollar store. I get a bunch of them. And I got some paper towel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my paper towel. Now, I also have a paper maker, like that has the screen and all, but you ain't need that. So we're going to push and push and push and push and push and push it real good. And it's squirting everywhere. It's all right. And you want to get it as flat as you can with your hand. Now, let me tell you something. If you have, maybe you have a rolling pin that you don't use. Maybe you have, like, I'm dropping more stuff today, a bottle that's just sitting there, and you're going to see it's going to really roll that flat, right? So it depends on how thick you want it. You can see already how beautiful this is. And I'm going to get it, you know, and make sure there's no holes, because I don't want no holes. And if there is holes, like when this dries and you're like, oh no, there's a little hole, that's where you could put your dried flowers, or, you know, use it for mixed media rather than, you know, just a piece of paper. Now, what you'll do is move it to a shape of paper. Okay, now I did not put enough on here. And I just kind of, you see how I just fold that over to get it in one area? That would be a lot better if I didn't take half out. And I have a little bit more of the pink in there, so we'll use that. But let's just do this right now. You can see how easy it is. I'm making it into a shape of a paper. Piece of paper. And I don't know about you, but we've had winds for 2 days here in New Jersey that have been brutal. I'm having my daughter and her husband and some friends over tomorrow. They're friends. For a cookout. So, you know, I went and bought a new umbrella and all the things, and now I have to return them because, or buy new because the wind just took it away. So today, my point, sometimes I can't do two things at once. Today is beautiful out there in the sun. So if you have sun where you're at, or if not, it's just the fresh air, you go set this in that sun and dry, and in about, I don't know, 2 hours, turn it over, and you're going to have some nice paper. But I'm going to show you Kelly's cheat way in a minute, once I get this the shape I want. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay, so that's the gist, right? Now let me tell you something. You see, you're like, oh, this is, oh my God, from the lint. You get a nice piece of hair. That's enjoyable. This is the size, right? And let's say you do yours and you're like, oh, you know, it's not that big. Well, if you make a journal, which I love making journals, every kind of journal there is, I love to make. And you have a piece of, you know, regular paper that you use in for your, what are they called right now? I would say portfolios. That's not what they're called. Each section. You can then glue this down on that paper. So then you have this on that paper. Do you know what I mean? If this isn't big enough to put into a piece of paper, if that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense. Does anything I say make sense? Let me know down below. Probably not. Okay, so I have this. So what I'm going to do is push it real good, and it's going to get that extra moisture out. Now, the thing is lay this out in the sun too, or I just hang it over my desk here, my light, and it dries and you can use it again and again and again. Maybe you have papers, old towels that you set aside that you use. There's a million different things, but look at that, how nice so far, right? Not bad, not bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one more time to get it a little bit flatter. These are great to put in the die cut machine. I mean, there's so many things. So I'm going to flip it, push it this way. I'm going to take another piece of paper towel. Like I said, nothing goes to waste here. I dry more things. Now you peel this off. Okay, I'm going to set this aside. And I'm going to hit it from this side. And I'm doing it in a way where I'm pushing like to one side. So like for instance, if I start here, I'm going to push up. And then I'll go here and push up, just so it, you know, helps extend that. Now look at that. Look how awesome, you know, I don't think of my light. Let's see if I can move this a little bit. Yeah. Let's see how that works. Look at that. Look how awesome. And you can really go wild. But what I like to do is I will take my heat gun, and you don't hold it on there because it's paper, I will burn, and dry it. So I'm going to put you on pause and I will be back. Let me show you one thing before I finish this. You want to take this off. It's going to be hard to peel it off this way. Do it the same way. Flip it over, give it a push, peel it. Look at that. Look at that. And I'm getting there. It's getting dry. But like I said, you could put it out in the sun. You can put it in the oven like at, 250 and just leave it go for an hour or so to get that, out. So I'll be back. Okay, so what I did was I moved the other piece over there on the dry section, so that'll get to drying. And I just put the pink out so I didn't have to waste your time. Now, here's a mold. This is a silicone mold. You can use this in any mold that you have, but just know that if it's not a flexible mold, you'll have a hard time getting it out. You'll have to like get a, once it's fully dry, get a pin and like go in at the one side and kind of like wedge it out. So I have this and I have my mold and I'm going to stuff it and I'm going to push it in those corners. And for me, when I do these things, if the mold doesn't come out exactly perfect, I don't care. Because I'm all into the odd stuff anyway. But I'm going to stick it in there. I can't with the jokes today. I'm going to stop. Tuppy, if you're watching this, you know what I was going to say. Okay. And I'm going to leave that sit for a second just so, but you could see on the other side. So we'll just leave that sit for a second. So you can see this is the pink. It has a pink tinge. If you want it stronger pink, of course, make it. Maybe you have some dried flowers you want to set in here now, or maybe you wanted to add them to it so it was all the way through. You want more glitter, whatever, go for it. This is where you can add whatever you want. Go out into your yard and get grass and, flowers or ferns or, whatever. And I'm just going to do the same thing here, where I'm just pushing it so it's, a little bit flatter. I'll take my, roll it that way, roll it that way, just to kind of help push it along. Okay. All right. And then I'll lift this off. Remember, soak and wet. I'll hang it. It'll dry. All will be good with the world. Okay, get my other one. And these are still damp from the other one, so, and you can dry these with your heat gun too. But, okay, I'm just pushing it. If you want it thinner, just keep pushing it to the thick, till you're as thin as you want it. I'm never going to be too thin. That's how I feel now. Okay. And you can see, this is just really what... Sometimes, and, it depends on how you feel. I'll take another coat of Mod Podge and just put it on here real quick. Just to, if there's a lot of inclusions that I'm like, oh, I don't know, if they're going to stay in or not. They will. But sometimes I get nervous and I'm like going through all this. And then it doesn't stay in. So, it won't hurt nothing if you want to do that. Now, let me just give you a couple things. In the group, A Little Goddess and All, they're doing they're rusting things and all that. And that is like one of my favorite things to do. So another fun thing to do would be, once you get this almost dry, put your little tidbits that that will bring rust. Like I have old screws and stuff like that. Throw them on here. Let them in a paper bag, in a plastic bag in the sun. You can squirt a little bit of vinegar on it and it'll rust. So then you'll get like these cool pieces of rust in here. Depends on what you're going for. You can also just use burnt umber instead of pink. It's endless, the stuff you can do. Okay. I'm not going to keep you here forever. Forever, ever. All right. And I'm going to flip them. Look at me. It's like a pancake. And then, you know the deal. You know the deal. I am going to grab one more paper towel. I can't find my... I really got to find my towels I have down here. I have a bunch of them and I can't find them. Again, I mean, look at that. Look at that water coming out. Okay. Keep folding it, pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. Okay. And then you lift that off. Look at that. Okay. So, that is that. This now. Let's see if I can lift this up, or it's going to be too wet yet. Use my hands a minute just to squinch it out. And then you have this, which you will do the same thing. Push it. And you'll just push it down. Push it in. Put it in the sun. And then, you know, or dry it with your heat gun. Just push it so you get... I like to just put... But remember, when you take this out, you might have little poopy ends. And you just cut it. It's paper. But this is so much fun to do because you can make this into an earring because it's lightweight. And that's what I love to do with these. So that'll just sit there. I'm going to hit this with my heat gun. I'll come back at the end and show you what they look like. And then I'm going to put them in the sun. Okay, guys. So you can see I got them both here. This one's very thin. This one's a chunky monkey. And this one's in here. Now, one of my favorite things, and I'm not trying to sell you this because I know I'm a Plaid ambassador, but one of my favorite things is this. It is Mod Podge Ultra. This is matte, comes in gloss, whatever. This is great to use in so many different ways. However, one of the ways I like to use it is when I'm doing things like this. Instead of, you know, I just like to go like this. And you see how easy this is? Now, you can use this in your mixed media. I mean, you can use this in so many different ways, but that's beside the point. I love this stuff. Okay, so I have it on there. It's going to soak in. The glue I already have in the water, the Mod Podge I already have in the water is going to dry and adhere all this. Do not get like screwed up at the fact of if you lift this or do whatever, it falls apart. It's not, you know, it's too crumbly, it's whatever. Remember, there's water in here still in glue. Like, it has to dry. So give it that, the ability to do so. Now, I love this. Look at that. That's thin. This will be a piece of paper. I could have made this way bigger, but I didn't want to keep this for an hour, you know, do this for an hour. This is a chunky monk. This is not something that you're like, oh, what am I going to do with this? This is what I love to do with this. Once these are dry, you cut them out. Let's say you love ATCs. You glue it on an ATC card. There's your background. You use it in, you know, your mixed media, your whatever. These are so fun to use. You can use them as jewelry. Cut them out on your Cricut or your Big Shot, whatever. These are so much fun. And then we have our little cat face mold that we're going to be doing. So that is what I have for you right now. I will come back later and show you these once they're dry in the sun. And one little tip besides don't smoke in bed. That's what my grandfather used to say when we were little. Anyway, that's just a joke to me. I used my fluff from my dryer, and it happened to be my dog bed fluff where I washed all the dog beds, and I did not realize it until it was too late. So what I'm going to do with these is I will use them on an art journal page or something to that effect, or even in a frame, you know, for my wall, and put my pet pictures on it because the hair and all that. So just pay mind to what you washed and what you dried, because I was like, dang, why is all that dog hair in there? And then that's why. So that's just me. All right, guys, I will see you when I get back. And once these are dry, and yeah, that is it. Okay, guys, so I'm going to show you how pretty this came out. Let's see if you can see. Oh, yeah, you can. It focuses. Look at that with all the pretty color of the colored papers in there. So can you imagine? Now, you can see I did pink and green setting it on top. But can you imagine putting dried flowers in here? How pretty it would be? And then our cat. You can see that it sunk in a little bit, but no big deal. But when you take it out, I'm gonna get my other hand. Look! Look how cute! Let's see if it focuses. Focus, focus. Do it this way, let's see. Light's too much. Oh, come on, you gotta see it to believe it. There you go. Look at that, perfect. So, can you imagine doing these and making, you know, putting your head pin through and making beautiful earrings? We can decorate this any way we want. You can hear? Hard. And then, now this is a little thicker than I like it. So what I decided to do was do a video with the blender and all the things just to show you the proper way. So you get like a perfect paper kind of thing. But you can definitely put holes in here and use this in your, you know, in your journal. I'm going to use this as an ATC background or something. We'll see. And I love it. I love the way it came out. So keep posted. Make sure you subscribe and click that notification button down below to get some more videos from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you do anything like this, just hashtag me, hashtag knitting and things, so I can check it out on Instagram. I'm everywhere down below. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic day and you have a fantastic week. And I love you. And as always, please remember to be kind to each other, because you never know what battle somebody else is fighting. I love you guys. See you in my next video. Bye-bye.